Doing Time with Deputy Mike.
Hi, welcome back to Doing Time with Deputy Mike. It's a special edition, Students Against Destructive Decisions, also SAD. So without further ado, let's move into roll call.
Grab your feet and take a seat. It's roll call time.
Well, if everybody would like to go ahead and introduce themselves.
All right, so my name is Jacob Schneider. I'm in multimedia, and I am the SAD representative for multimedia. I got involved with other things like SMASH, which is Students Making a Safer Highway. It's promoting road safety for our teenagers, and I like to get involved with stuff like that.
My name's Serenity, and I'm in biotech.
I am JC Biles, and I am from Visual Design and Imaging.
Oh, I'm Tyler Zinsmeister, and I'm here to support the cause.
Welcome everybody. So let's go ahead and we'll move into interrogation time.
Interrogation time.
Well, does anybody still have hearing? That was my eardrums.
Nope.
It's a little loud.
It's fine.
So, well, would you like to start us off and tell us all about it?
So, as you know, next week is Red Ribbon Week, and TCTC. We have big plans. We're going to do TCTC time once a day for every day of the week. On top of that, we're doing this show, obviously, and what is Red Ribbon Week anyway? Just lost my hearing here.
Yeah, we went from super loud to
Nothing at all.
nothing.
Excuse me.
There we go. We're back.
All right, I'm sorry about that. So, where was I? So what is Red Ribbon Week anyway? It was created in 1988 because of Enrique Kiki Camarena. He lost his life serving as a special agent for the Drug Enforcement Administration. His honor, his legacy, honored each year in October by Red Ribbon Week, and we're going to keep that going here at TCTC.
So, all right. So every day we're going to do it, TCTC.
Yeah, once a day, every day.
Every day. And what else?
Oh no, we just trying to spread awareness about it. Really, we got.
So, well, let me ask this question to all of you. So, how many are you familiar with the Red Ribbon?
I mean, I'm not familiar with it, like, myself, but, like, I know what it means.
Yeah, I know what it means, but I'm not too knowledgeable on it.
Yeah, same.
Same. Okay. Drugs are bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, the whole thing, what happened to this gentleman, he was an agent. He was undercover, which is extremely dangerous. The Mexican cartel, which is now like influenced all through the United States, is on the rise. You know, they're pushing. I just actually went to a drug class, and fentanyl, of course, is just extremely dangerous. You touch it, you can OD. The stuff they got going, making fake pills, like making pills actually now that look like, say, an Advil. They got pill stamps, so they'll take like something and make it look like regular Tylenol or whatever. So there's a crackdown now on that kind of stuff. Oh, there's always, it's crazy, the internet, and of course the drug use in schools. But the biggest problem we have, and it still seems like with most of the schools, aren't the pills, it's the vapes, the marijuana vapes. And the problem is, like, you don't know, like, some of these stuff is getting laced unintentionally, and kids are thinking that they're buying marijuana vapes and they're getting other things and bad stuff. So does anybody have stories that they know of, like personal experiences?
What I'll say is that I really have largely tried to avoid and associate with anyone or anything that does stuff like that. I really have never been a fan of
Yeah,
any
I
of that.
don't want drugs to consume my life, so I try to stay away from it as
Mhm.
much as possible whenever I see people doing it. They always offer it to me and I say no. It's not
Good.
about...
Good.
It's
Nothing
And that's what we
good.
want to do. That's what
Yeah.
we're trying to promote.
No, there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. For something that makes you feel good for like a couple seconds, and then you become totally addicted on it, and you'll do whatever it takes to stay in that happiness,
And then
bliss.
and then they give it
And then they
tolerance, They
die.
build up
Oh,
more
yeah,
and
it
more.
ruins your life. Like,
It
it's
does.
the money-wise,
I've
like
seen lives.
physically.
People on their own.
Relationships.
Yeah, relationships, it's bad.
I can tell you this. I worked 6-7 years in the county jail, and almost like, especially with the women were really bad. They were mostly, there's not like too many, like, it was weird because there's groups, like your older groups, your younger groups, it's kind of weird, but they're all pretty much gone. I mean, I knew of, the two of them were twin sisters, and what was it, not this year, last year when I was in or the year before I was in transport, and she had been clean for I don't know how many years. There she was on the bus to go back to
Please
prison.
excuse the interruption. Gerard, students, you are dismissed at this time. Gerard, students, you are dismissed at this time. Thank you.
So, we're transporting her. Yeah, we had this long talk since it's like, I don't know, what was it, 2.5, 3 hours away. And it's like, dude, you're old enough to be all these people's grandmother. She's like, yeah, I know, I gotta stop. It's like, what happened? Well, she got mixed up with the same bad crowd, fell off that horse, and sad story is actually last summer she passed away. She OD'd. She got back out. So I don't know. There's nothing good that comes out of it. Does anyone know anyone who's been in accidents from alcohol, or
Very fortunate
Yes.
to not have anyone like that in my life.
you do?
They haven't had an accident, but they do call me and they ask me to drive them. And whenever I tell them no, they say why, and I say because if I get caught, it's still coming back on me for I'm underage and I have someone intoxicated in my car. And then they'll be like, well, if you don't come pick me up, then I'm driving. And I say that's not how this is gonna work.
Uber.
Yeah, I'm like, you have other people you can call that will help you out right now, but I'm not going to be one of them.
Are they older than you?
Some of them are 18, which are underage. Some of them are older than me. Like, my brothers call me sometimes, which that's what they do because they're my family.
Right.
But I don't want to get pulled over and have it fall back on me for having someone in my car while I'm underage.
And it's true. I mean, if you're the driver of the vehicle, you're responsible for everything that happens inside that vehicle. So if somebody throws something out of your car and it hits another car, you're the one that's going to be held because you're the driver.
Yeah.
And basically, as long as you don't have alcohol in your car, you should be all right, even though your passengers are intoxicated, because at this point you got them off the road.
Yeah.
But if they do something silly, well, that's a whole different story.
Oh, yeah.
And then they can get you in trouble. And like you said, you don't want tied up into that.
I don't want to be around it at all. My friends know I don't like it, and they always ask me for help.
That's good though. I mean, and you know what? It's nice to see you standing your ground too, because peer pressure is hard. It hasn't changed. It's from the time I was your guys' age to now. It's there. It's hard, and it's hard for some kids to say no. I mean, has anyone approached you guys?
There was one time. It was just a New Year's party, normal New Year's party, and everyone there.
Drinking?
Yeah, and I was like, I'm not a fan. I ended up leaving early. I know it sounds lame, right?
Yeah, that's
leaving the
another
party
thing.
early, but
I don't know.
my
kids
life
are
is
like,
at stake, you know?
It's normal for high schoolers to do it. It's
It
really
shouldn't
not.
be.
It should not be normalized, and it's not safe. Because it's an unfortunate thing. It's an unfortunate way to go, but it's an unfortunate thing to do to yourself at a young age.
Because it's such a waste. Like, there's
It
no
is.
reason to do it. You
Well,
can-
today
nothing
too.
good.
I mean, in my
Yeah.
generation, we didn't have cameras running around with us.
That too.
You guys have everybody filming everything, and then on top of that, bad things happen to like girls. I mean, bad things can happen to guys too, but I mean, people are slipping other stuff into people's drinks, taking advantage of people. So that's increased. I mean, that really didn't happen during my time. I'm not that old. I'm not that I think, anyways. But I mean, that's increased quite a bit. And you guys gotta watch everything you do, especially when you go off to college, because you guys are gonna go to a college bar. I mean, it's just part of life. But you gotta watch. You can't even trust some of the people that you're with because they're doing stuff. So that's a scary thing.
You gotta know who you can trust. You gotta have
think
someone to fall
someone's got
back
your
on.
back, and you find out.
You gotta have like a plan.
Yeah,
You've got to watch over other people too, because it could happen to anyone.
yeah.
You don't want it happening to like your friend. You don't want it happen to anybody that you know, trust, and love.
It's head on a swivel, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, like I told you guys off camera, I actually went. It's called West Muskingum. I don't know if you know where Zanesville's at. So I'm originally from here. I moved away from here, and went to West Muskingum. Well, there, we lost a couple schoolmates. In fact, I played football. I was at the football game, and they were out running around and partying, and the one kid was showing off. And I don't know if familiar with Zanesville, but it's extremely hilly, like being down in West Virginia and Pennsylvania with the big hills.
Been there once.
And this kid came flying down the hill, went airborne, and ended up 2 people died in that accident. So that was a big eye opener for my class and everybody, above us, below us. And sometimes it takes something bad to really, for some people, to open up their eyes. Then when I returned here my senior year, I had actually just graduated, and it was like the class, a bunch of fellow students, a class below me, and they ended up getting killed on Old 82 by Sodom. And they were all drinking and partaking in marijuana and whatnot, and pulled right out into front of a car and got T-boned, and 4 people died in that accident. 1 was paralyzed and 1 walked away. It's crazy. It's crazy how somebody can walk away from a bad accident. I've seen some bad accidents in my time.
I mean, when you got the shock of it, you just want to leave.
Yeah.
So.
Ever end up leaving you with survivor's guilt, though? The survivor's guilt that follows a bad accident, something knowing that you were the one that made it out because of bad decisions that were made?
Yeah, you would think. Well, for the instance, the one kid in Zanesville, he went from being one of the most popular kids because he was rich. He was very rich. He had all the money.
People just take things for granted.
Well, that was just it, And then he ended up where nobody liked him at all. And he ended up, of course, he got sentenced and sent to actually prison. He did 3 years. 3 years for that. And then, no one liked him then. And I was gone by the time he got out. But, of course, talk to people still down there, and we've had discussions like, "Well, how did that go?" It wasn't good. Like, you know, he tried reconnecting with some people. Some people forgave him, other people didn't. So, I mean, you got to think before you do.
Yeah. I was just gonna add that like many people in my family like struggle with like drugs and alcoholism, but luckily there is programs that can help them, and like the people who do seek out help always end up getting help and the help that they need and end up staying sober. So
Yeah. If you seriously want the help and you seek out the help, you'll do it.
yeah, as long as they're looking for it, they always stay
Yeah.
clean. So
Those that are being sometimes made to do it, not so much.
yeah.
But you know, you got to change everything. You got to change your whole life patterns. You got to change who you hang with, because it's the old saying of birds that flock together. I mean, if that's what you're flocking around, that's what you're going to do. That's what you guys got to keep in mind. You've got, let's go, we do have a video, so let's go to the video.
Yeah, Steve and Eric, they had dreams. They had dreams. They were good athletes. They loved the outdoors. They loved the ocean, and they were smart. You know, they were loving life when we were growing up. They were just on a good path. You know, just really enjoying life. And they got sidetracked. They listened to some friends that turned out not to be very good friends, and they got them into drugs. And they thought drugs were cool. They thought drugs would lead to something that they didn't have. They thought they'd try to fit in and you know, kick it up a notch by doing drugs.
I remember running up my grandma's driveway to see him, and he would always be coming up from the garage, and he would greet me with a big hug, and I just remember how much I loved him.
Yeah, in high school, when Steve got addicted, you know, he thought he could experiment and get away with it, and he got addicted, and I knew this was going to be a rough road. I remember seeing Steve when he came home, and he just looked like a ghost. He was a big boy. He, you know, he was 200 pounds, 6'3", and to see him at 83 pounds, you know, it was like slowly watching my brother die. To see both my brothers addicted on drugs was just heavy. We came from having a normal family to just being out of control. You know, I didn't see him very much. They wouldn't come home for dinner. It was just all of a sudden the three musketeers we used to call ourselves wasn't the same. I remember sitting down with Steven and telling him if he didn't stop, he was going to die.
He had seizures and was lying on the floor. And then I knew that this addiction would kill him.
I got a call in the middle of the night by a sheriff.
I remember the day that he was gone. I was running up the stairs to see him, and he didn't come up from the garage.
He was alone and got some more cocaine, and his heart couldn't take any more of it. He collapsed.
Fell to my knees and started crying. I couldn't believe that my little brother was gone. Just couldn't believe it.
I looked at my grandma, and she had her face in her hands, and he was gone. I was mad. I was angry, and mostly at him. You know, I was mad that he had left me for drugs, basically.
Steven left behind a little girl. Steven left behind a 5-year-old girl. I mean, drugs were so powerful. His daughter was more important to him than anything.
The drugs overpowered his love for me.
Eric, you know, he started smoking pot, which is a gateway drug, and it led to worse drugs. And he ended up taking some pretty strong drugs, and he ended up getting a full-blown depression. and he couldn't think straight. And Eric spent 8 years in a mental institution. Drugs changed Eric forever, and he was never the same. And when he got out, the poor young man was half the person he was when he went in, and couldn't pull it together. My name is John Sant. I'm from La Jolla, California, and the reason I produced this video and started the Natural High series is I lost my 2 little brothers to drugs. My motivation for this video is to teach every kid to get a natural high and choose a natural high over drugs.
So, does anybody in there have a family member that's struggling with alcoholism or drugs or anything inside your family? Close?
Yes.
If I had to, if I could share,
Yeah.
my uncle. I know I mentioned it off camera too. My uncle, he's a massive pot addict. Great uncle, I should say. And it really kind of did. It took a toll on my then great grandpa. He's since passed away, but back when he was trying to live out the rest of his life, the end of it, his pot addiction really made it hard to care for him when he needed to be cared for. He was approaching 93 years old, and he wasn't getting the help a senior should be getting, all because of my great uncle, his son, not caring for him, instead getting consumed by his pot addiction.
So, what's going on? You don't say who, but like, what are you dealing with?
Oh, my mother is an alcoholic, and it's pretty bad. When I was a kid, she was driving drunk with me and my brothers, and she got pulled over because she crashed the car. And that's when I went to live with my dad, who is not an alcoholic. But yeah, she has not received help. She went to prison for 3 years, but she has not received help. She rejects it all.
Well, my father is an alcoholic, and it's like the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing, and he's somewhere right now. I'm not sure. And then my mother struggles with like just drugs. And I think she's homeless.
Yeah, that happens a lot. My mother was homeless a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just like they just don't.
And they're like, I need help.
I have to cut them off. Any one of my family who's addicted to drugs, I have to cut them off, because it's like they call you and they don't get help. They need money. They don't get help. They don't want to get better. They don't want to better their lives. And it's just so negative. It just gets too bad.
And that's the worst part too about especially people like that, is when they try to bring you into something that's toxic like that and pretend to want help and not actually want it and just use you.
Yeah. It's bad.
It's a hard thing. It really is. And, almost everybody, I would say, probably knows somebody, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs. I mean, I got a couple family members, alcohol.
It's too wide.
And,
it's
out of all the drugs, they say it's an illness. I don't agree. Alcoholism is actually, yes, you can pass that through your genes, which is scary, because if you're an alcoholic, your kids are susceptible to become alcoholics.
Yeah.
So I believe the others are choices, bad choices. But once your body's hooked, it's hooked, and it's hard to. I smoked cigarettes. Cigarettes were bad. Literally, I mean, you want to talk about addiction, and I never smoked when I was a kid. It was afterwards. But I had to quit twice. And the second time was harder. The first time I actually threw them away. I was like, I'm done. Second time was really hard.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's tough stuff. Now I sit there and cough all the time. I do. I mean, it's from me smoking.
It takes a toll. I mean, I'm glad you were able to get off of it.
Yeah.
It's really good to hear that.
And now you guys are vaping, which is worse than cigarettes.
I would never.
I mean,
We are not vaping.
I
Well,
am no
the-
vapor.
I'm saying, no, I'm not
youth.
saying
The
you
population.
I am the vape police.
Yes. As soon as I see someone with a vape, I'm like, you better get that
Well,
away
the
from
younger,
me.
let's say the younger generation's out of the vape. It's literally replaced cigarettes.
Yeah.
And it's like, what's better? No, I mean, you're literally putting like
Chemicals.
chemicals, iron, or still, there's like metal.
Microchemicals and
Yeah. The
metals.
stuff and you don't know what's all.
At least you can see what's in the cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just,
and the original cigarettes weren't
didn't-
addicting because it was just tobacco.
Yeah.
But it's what we produced in these companies. Like, well, we could throw this in there, and people are just gonna want more cigarettes.
Yeah. I don't like when people smoke weed, but it's so public. They do it so publicly. Like because I work at Dunkin', people come through the drive-thru and they're smoking. You're driving and you're smoking,
Which is illegal, by the way.
And now you're suscepting me to it because you're literally like, I'm giving you your stuff and you're
yeah.
like, come on now, let's be for real.
See, and the problem is, like with Denver, Colorado, and all these other states that legalized pot first,
Yeah.
their DUIs dropped. Yeah, they dropped. But the fatalities with marijuana has it's off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've ran into other problems. Their crime actually increased. I mean, so legalizing marijuana wasn't the magic thing
Because
to
now
really
people
do.
are like, I can get it, it's legal.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it's causing other problems, which nobody wants to talk about those.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like the new wine for especially parents and older women like that in their 40s. And,
Yeah.
They need to
They just
decompress.
instead of coming home and getting a glass of wine or
No.
a beer,
It's a-
they come home and they smoke
I do
weed.
have this really unfortunate situation I do know of. Someone I know who is pregnant, she is so hooked on marijuana right now that she is smoking while 3 months pregnant. And her mom is trying to get her help, but she is so
No, that's when
hooked.
you take it though.
That is
She
so
is
bad.
so hooked. And I feel terrible because
that kid.
I can't
poor
do
kid.
anything to stop it other than try to help her myself. But there's not much I can do.
Well, see, and that's the funny thing, because she is hooked. And there's literally groups that petition for marijuana. Oh, it's not addicting. Oh, since when?
So why are you petitioning for it if it's not addicting?
Yeah.
Because obviously you're addicted.
It's like, oh, it's not
Yeah.
like cigarettes. Yes, it is. And it is a gateway drug that, because, you get these you get some of them, and it's like, well, I want more, I want more, I want more.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody introduced. I think they should start penalizing drug dealers harder.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think if you sold somebody something and they OD'd and died, that you should be held accountable for murder.
What's
And-
the penalty for dealing drugs? In Ohio, at least.
Well, I mean, you get into felons and stuff, but I don't know, the penalties in a way. It all depends on how much. It's kind of I don't know. I mean, you'll do time, but these guys are making
I was
millions.
gonna say,
and
I've never
millions
heard
of
about them
dollars.
being away for long. They're usually
No,
back.
well, no, they're not. And who cares? It's like, well, these guys don't care because, yeah, all right, I gave up some of my time, but I still got my money.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I care, their money. And they got their money stashed away somewhere.
Yeah.
I do have a funny story when I worked in a prison. But this guy was a bank robber. He wasn't a drug dealer or nothing. But I would always catch him doing stuff, and he'd get in trouble and locked away for a little bit, punished. But he came out to me one day. He's like, "Hey, Gear, you know I'm a multi-millionaire." I said, "Are you?" So, yeah. It's like, he tells me a story about how him and his boys robbed this bank. And I'm like, so where's your boys at?
No.
He starts looking at me. They're holding my stuff. I'm like, really? Like, when's the last time you talked to your boys? I said, in other words, you're telling me your boys are down in Caribbean with your money.
So they spent that
Yeah,
money.
you're doing 12 years. Like
Oh yeah, they got his money.
Yeah, your money's gone. You're broke like me.
It was gone in 12 minutes.
He started thinking about it. He got mad.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I'm not talking to you today. He's like, shut himself in his cell. Like, goodbye.
Wonder where he is now.
I don't know. He should be out now. But, yeah, that was one of my funny. Yeah, it had nothing to do with drugs, but oh well.
Sounded like he was on them.
That's just like people want to be around you. Like the same people that do drugs want to be around the same people that also do drugs. But when you get locked up or you're sober, they're gone. Like they don't care about you.
No. Well, I don't know. You some do. It depends. It's like, I don't know.
That's just a loyalty issue. That's just about the
Yeah.
people you choose to be around.
Unfortunately, I can't tell you a lot of stuff because this is more school appropriate.
Yeah.
I can tell you stories, but I can't tell them here.
Off the record.
Off the record. Yeah,
Love to hear
I
'em.
mean,
I'd love to hear 'em.
I mean, if you, I don't know. I think they should give tours to actually teenagers to jail, like literally at school. tour.
Scare 'em
Beyond
straight.
scared.
Yeah.
Those scared me as a kid just watching them. I was like, no.
Oh, yeah,
that's how
I
we're
love
gonna
I don't
raise
want to get
awareness,
spit in
though.
my face by some random guy.
Yeah.
I
Those
really
always
do.
made me
gotta think
sad
about
though,
ways-
because they would always talk about their personal stories of how they ended up in jail, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of sad.
They gotta scare
Like,
you.
Yeah, they kind of
Well,
scare you a little
The
bit.
problem is though, is you got juveniles,
Mhm.
young adults your age, and they're not intimidated. They're in and out of JJC. They don't care. And it's like, I don't know. To me, my freedom is more important than being told when I gotta get up, when I gotta go eat, when I gotta go back to sleep, when I got locked down for count time. And I like to decide when I'm gonna and where I'm gonna go and when I want to eat and what I want to eat.
Exactly.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that jail is nasty. It's dirty. It's disgusting. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, there's times like my boots never went into my house. The first thing I did was always stepped up they stayed out in my garage.
Yeah.
And there was times like where I ended up like having to roll around with somebody or something. Like I literally stripped my stuff off and threw it down into the basement and told my wife, hey, I'll wash this. Because rolling around on those floors was nasty. It's dirty in there.
Oh, I'd believe it.
I don't know.
100%.
I don't know how we're gonna drill the message home to people, young kids, that
Yeah.
like this is not the life you want to live.
It's not the life you want to live. Have have any of you been down, like when you drive? You guys know where Route 77, like you go
Yeah.
through Columbus,
Yep.
Yeah.
heading south. When you're going through there, you look over to your right, you'll see like an area that's all barbed wired off and a really kind of spooky like looking building there. It's like right when you're coming off, like you did the
I
little
think I passed
Yeah.
that. Didn't really think much of it.
Well,
drove past it one
that's one
time.
of the that's one of the youth facilities actually.
I say my stepmother, she works for CPS, so she's there a lot, and she has to deal with a lot of those kids who go in and out of juvie, and they're just like they just don't care. They're just like, oh, I'm going
so
back.
Sad.
Oh, I'm out again. Oh, I'm going back.
Yeah,
Especially
they
if it's
don't.
someone you know, like that's sad, because then you
Yeah.
have to cut them off, and you really just want to help them because you care for them, and they don't want anything to do.
You feel
with what you have to
powerless.
say. Yeah, it takes a toll on the people who are trying to help you too, because you're watching just this person destroy themselves.
Sometimes, and this is a hard fact, and I hate to say this, but truthfully, sometimes the only way that you're going to help is help yourself. And unless you want to help yourself, it won't work. And some of these people don't want help. That's the sad truth. They don't want help. They like what they're doing. They like the lifestyle for some reason that they're living. And it's just a sad, sad thing. I've had plenty of students here where they've come up and we've discussed things like their lifestyles and stuff and what they have to do. Like literally, we have students taking care of their parents. Coming here,
That's sad.
they're
It's
going.
so
They're
sad.
trying to get themselves through school, and then when they're leaving here, they're working tons of hours, and they're paying the rent.
Yeah, and paying for their food.
Yeah, and that is a sad thing. You should be being a kid right now. You should be enjoying life, because let me tell you, once you step out of this school,
It's bad.
It's
yeah.
You don't get that
If I
time
could roll
back.
back to my
The
high school
terrors.
days, I would do it in a
Yeah.
heartbeat.
I'm scared.
And
You don't get your time back.
No, because you're like, I couldn't.
One-way street.
Everybody, I can't wait till I graduate. Well, guess what? Now I wish I could roll back and go back to that time period, because it was a lot funner than where I'm at now. I mean, I've had fun. Don't get me wrong, but truthfully, I mean, like your senior and junior years, it's like that was the best time of my life. I mean, I still have lots of things that I'm happy with, but I mean, it was a good time without a lot of the problems that I got to deal with today. I mean, really, problems don't go away; they just get harder.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. Let's move on to things to know before we go. We got anything?
Oh, we do have a second video, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know we had a second
you're
video.
Okay. We do have a second video to watch.
All right. Well, let's watch that second video. I'm sorry.
Our lives are full of cool, fun things to do, fun things to experience, fun things to share. It could be playing a video game, listening to music, laughing with friends. Whenever you do or experience those fun things, your brain releases a chemical messenger called dopamine. This chemical messenger goes to a part of your brain called the nucleus accumbens. It's where your brain connects motivation to action, where what you do meets up with what you enjoy. When the nucleus accumbens responds to dopamine, you feel really good. It's your body's way of rewarding you, of saying to you, let's do more of that. Many things can trigger a release of dopamine in this reward center. Delicious food, playing sports, funny videos. Because these good feelings come from normal, everyday activities, you could think of them as a natural high. With each fun experience and each reward, your brain learns. It starts ranking what makes you feel good. Those preferences, what you consider most rewarding, are what make you uniquely you. One thing to remember, while your brain's reward center is saying, go for it, do it, a more advanced part of your brain, called the prefrontal cortex, is guiding your decision making. It's this part of your brain that helps you control your impulses. It understands that life is more than constant natural highs. It's also doing homework or taking care of yourself. So, you have these two parts of your brain. The reward center that loves natural highs, and your still growing prefrontal cortex that weighs risk and reward and helps you decide where and how to spend your time and energy. Just as you are growing to become a mature adult, your prefrontal cortex is still developing and not as strong as it one day will be. Keep that in mind as you go after what makes you feel good. One part of your brain will push for anything that feels good, even things you could later regret. But pay attention to that other, still growing part, the one that's trying to help you make smart choices.
So, we got anything else anyone wants to touch on?
So, we could touch on types of activities that would be good to get your brain off of thinking about drugs and get that natural high they like to talk about in that video.
Roller coasters for me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I personally think running marathons or cross country is a good one. Like that adrenaline of winning a race. Yeah.
I think getting paid is a much better feeling.
Yeah.
The best feeling.
Yeah, that makes you happy.
Every Friday.
Wake up Friday morning. See the bands in the account.
That little comma in your bank account. Oh, it'll make your day.
Oh my gosh. I like to eat food. Gotta
That's
eat
a good one.
Doesn't it?
Mukbang.
Yeah, it's so on this right now. Wingstop is a good one.
Taco Bell.
Yes.
Love
Taco Bell.
Oh my gosh.
All this stuff.
Chipotle.
So the best way to get a natural high, guys, eat food.
Eat food.
That's what I'm
Eat food and
learning.
gain weight.
Okay,
Yep.
but like the best one is actually just hanging out with your friends.
There's so
As
many.
long as they're a
that's
good
true.
influence.
When you have friends that you vibe with so
Mhm.
good, it's like so.
And that's what we're trying to.
like those friends you can just kind of have a deep conversation with until like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, really connect with.
Those are the friends you'll always be friends with,
Mhm.
which is nice. There's not many of them, but as you go through life, they'll be there
And that's what we really want
somewhere.
to
Yeah.
drill home is that there's other things to do in life. You don't have to get
Always.
caught up in drugs.
You
you
just
know?
gotta make the right decision.
You can come to game night, hang out with me.
That's true.
I missed
Yeah.
Get the
I'm
pizza, the
sorry.
games.
Yeah.
And the deputy Mike. Like,
Yes.
hello.
That's all you need.
I had work. I'm sorry, Deputy Mike. I
Yeah,
missed
you
it.
guys are gonna have to do it at least before you graduate.
I tried.
I went-
at least before I
wasn't
graduate.
gonna
I will be
call
there.
off.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, but
They had
there's
me
a balance.
playing,
There certainly is
apples
a
or
balance.
something. It was like, it was a very young version of like Cards Against Humanity.
Apples
to Apples.
Apples to
Oh,
Apples.
I know what you guys are talking about now.
I was
It's a
like,
fun one.
gosh,
It's a fun
apples?
one, but like,
What is
Apples to
apples?
apples, yeah.
Just play
So
the
they
real one at
literally
that
had
point.
me. We do have apples to apples. I can't play Cards Against Humanity, but I could do apples to apples. But it was fun. It was fun.
but no, it's all about for this. It's all about finding that balance between good decision making
And
that
bad,
Yeah.
it's all,
That's true.
it's all
could
comes
help
down
you
to
make good choices,
Yeah.
and that's what we really want to promote. We want to promote better choices.
better choices.
Drugs are bad.
There's always
Drugs
a
are
drug
bad.
and bad.
Drugs are bad.
Gotta give yourself a good future.
I don't know how many you like going hiking. I like the
Not-
woods. I like
nice.
the
It's-
mountains.
I like
Not
going
now,
outside,
way
not
too
hiking.
cold.
I like the lake.
Well, you're running a marathon, but you like hiking.
It hurts my feet after I run.
And the marathon.
Then go to
doesn't?
sleep. Sleeping is so
No,
good.
The marathon hurts your legs. It
Ah,
directs the
okay.
pain in
Take a
different
nap.
areas.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, actually, sleeping is a really good way to combat that.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah.
I mean, you're not doing anything.
Yeah.
Don't sleep too much.
Just sleep
I
You
can
forever.
more
guys,
sleep.
you guys do kill me. It's like I've never seen more young people sleep.
Love
You know
to
what?
sleep.
We sleep
when
an
I was your
egregious
age,
amount. It's ridiculous.
Literally, we never slept.
Why not? It's
Now-
so fun.
Now,
Sleeping is
now,
great,
like I
man.
can't wait to get home because guess what? I
Taking
want
a
to
nap.
take
The
a
other
nap.
day, I just
I
slept for
don't
like
get to.
17 hours.
Oh, that's the best thing. And then you wake up and
Oh,
like,
yeah, and you don't know what day it is.
everybody else is asleep.
Do you know what's the
Perfect.
worst is when you wake up and you think you're late for somewhere and you run around like the room because you think you're.
It's like 6 p.m. It's
One
dark
time I
outside.
thought
And
I
you're
was
like,
like-
You're
oh.
like literally freaking. You're like.
I thought it was 6
"Ah,
a.m.
it's
Yeah.
late."
One time I yelled at my parents, I'm like, why didn't you get me up for school? And it was 8 o'clock at night.
Like, it's like, wait a minute, I already did that.
It's always dark out now, so I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't
it's
know what
so
time
hard.
it is. I wake
Yeah.
up and it's dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the time.
No, but we do sleep just so much. I feel like everyone I know, even like I'm guilty of it too. I go home and I wake up at 8, and I'm like, oh, my day. It's finally
I sleep
started.
on my breaks. In
Yeah,
my
no,
car.
I sleep. I sleep at work.
You
Like I'll
know?
catch myself falling asleep at work, and I'm like,
Sleeping in the
that's
car.
crazy.
Yeah.
Sleeping in the car.
We listen. I never slept. Well, I'll take this back. I slept in, like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, depending on what was going
See,
on.
then yeah.
We all slept in, but nobody took a nap.
I just be taking
I love
naps.
taking naps.
Once you were up, you were up.
Actually, I don't think they're naps
But,
because I
like-
sleep for like 8 hours.
That's sleeping, JC. That's sleeping. You do not.
That's
nap.
a slumber.
You go to bed.
But like, if I wanted to see you, I had to go to see you. You know, it's like I couldn't just call you up. Well, you could.
She's not gonna pick up.
FaceTime.
She's
But we
sleeping.
never- yeah,
no,
we
I
never
sleep with my
FaceTime.
ringer up.
Oh, do you put it by your head so you
yeah,
hear it?
I have it like on vibrate under my pillow.
Gotta pick up if my
Oh
friends
my
call.
gosh, no.
Someone might
Yeah,
want to do
people
something.
be calling me asking me to get
We
on
had the
board.
cheapy video games, but if you wanted to play the cool ones, we had to go to the arcade.
Guys, we just figured out how to get a natural high. So you
Chuck E.
sleep
Cheese.
and you wait for your friends to call you,
Yeah.
and then you hang out with
there
your
you go.
friends.
Yes,
Yes.
and repeat.
And repeat.
Yes.
And then you'll never be into anything bad
Fortnite
ever.
is life, guys.
I
I'm telling
love
you.
the nothing compares when I get a Victory Royale. Oh my gosh, I'm like,
The natural
Victory
highs.
crown.
my mind is blown.
The
Yeah.
natural highs coming from
Yes.
that.
Or like
Fortnite.
a good game of Monopoly.
Yes.
Oh.
I can
When you
never
know you're
finish.
winning, or Uno when you know you're about to
or
win.
when you're about to go
Ooh,
bankrupt in
Uno.
Monopoly.
Oh.
Yeah, and you're like, Uno.
I win. It's so good.
Good
See, I'm just
times.
getting a natural high right now.
See?
Yeah,
Okay.
even
It's,
just thinking about Uno.
Just
Yeah,
thinking
thinking
about-
about Uno.
Just this little
I
conversation.
love playing
here.
Roblox.
Oh, dress to impress.
Yes.
What is that?
Oh
It's a
my
dress
gosh,
up
Deputy
game.
Dress up.
Mike.
It's really goofy.
It's
so
a
fun.
game
Don't
where
make
you
them
dress
explain
up
That. No.
Jacob,
With a
this is
theme,
important.
with themes.
He
Oh my
asked.
gosh.
with
Yes.
themes. So you get like a theme, and it's like, I don't know, like food, like fast food, and you would dress up as like the Wendy's mascot or something.
I
Right.
love Big
McDonald.
Mac.
What are you? I'm a burrito.
He gets it.
No, yeah, you would wear like a white shirt and like
Yeah.
different colored undershirts, so then it'd be like you're a burrito,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And you're trying to
And
impress
then
them
people
all.
vote for you, and then you win.
Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
Do you guys win?
I win.
I win
I
it.
have never heard of this game
I'm
in my
in it
entire
to win
life.
it
Yeah.
always.
Oh my gosh, that's funny actually.
It really is.
Do you know, speaking of Taco Bell and burritos, so when I went to Matthews, we were allowed to go open lunch,
Oh
and
my
we would go
gosh.
down to Belmont. But back then, the burritos had like, I don't know if you like black olives and stuff. The burrito supremes were like a bomb back then. They were good. Now they're just got
There's-
onions.
yeah.
Yeah.
I go to Taco Bell for a pretty bomb burrito. But personally, I like the Crunchwrap Supremes.
Those are
Baja
so
Blast.
Baja
Big
Blast.
cheese it
Baja
Crunchwrap
Blast,
Supreme.
Yes.
Dorito
Guys, we
Gordita
are getting
Crunch.
big backed
The
right here.
cravings box, always.
Oh my gosh. We have a Taco Bell opening in Howland, and I'm very,
I heard
very
about
grateful
that.
because all of the
Oh, yeah,
business will
right
be
where-
taken away.
Right where the
where,
Burger King used to be. Yeah.
No, I can't wait.
Right across the street from where I work, pretty much.
She's trying to talk me into coming to get my large, like I really need that, frozen coffee.
Oh, 2 French vanilla, 2 caramel.
I'm telling you, you should come to Subway.
Are you giving it to him for
Subway.
free?
Subway.
Which Subway?
Maybe.
Allen.
We give him the discount.
Okay.
You should
okay.
come to
I-
Texas Roadhouse in Niles, actually. I could give you some rolls.
I do.
You do?
I do.
See,
JC, everyone goes to that Texas Roadhouse.
I don't
That's
see
the only
any of
Texas
you.
Roadhouse around here.
Well,
I know.
well, I
see
was
it.
there on Saturday, but you
I
didn't know
dodged
me.
it on purpose,
But now
though.
we're friends.
Why
so.
don't you guys say
We
hi?
had-
I actually did see you at Texas Roadhouse
We
when you
actually
came in
had
for
some
homecoming. I was
graduates.
working. I took your name at the host stand. I did.
You did. That's actually a little crazy.
And you
That's
didn't
really
say
good for you.
hi.
Oh,
How
Tyler.
rude.
How rude.
Tyler.
What, last
Come
year?
on, Tyler.
See, I love
No,
the
this
chili.
year.
Oh well, actually, JC, many people just look like me. I didn't go anywhere. I was.
I
Working,
swear
I
I
was
saw
working
you.
on. I worked all of homecoming night. I closed management.
Really?
Yeah,
That sucks.
You're a manager?
I am.
Wow.
Where
Look at
at?
you.
They're desperate.
Where?
Oh.
Where?
Arby's.
Arby's so
Arby's?
good.
Wait, Arby's and Howland?
They
Yeah.
have the
That
meat.
Oh,
one's
they
so
make
good.
me mad.
I'm sorry,
no.
Deputy Mike. I'm sorry. I saw Gianna's review one time. I was remiss because I don't take pride in what they do, but I'm a very good worker.
I went there. My whole order was messed up because
Should've
you
crossed
had,
the street.
You know, they were back there playing grab fanny with each other, and it's like, what was your order? Well, if you had listened, it's like
How long-
Oh,
how
you know
long
what?
ago?
I did go to Arby's the other day, the one by the mall, by AutoZone and stuff, and
Oh, that's that. That one's not us.
I was in the drive-thru line, and they told me and my brother to pull up, and we waited 20 minutes, and I went inside, I was like, hey, where's our food? And she's like, oh, we forgot. I was like,
That's what they
are
were-
you serious
They
right
were
now?
literally chasing each other around in the back. I'm like, I'm out in the drive.
I'm so sorry, Deputy Mike.
I'm like, and then I live way out in Fowler. So I got home, I'm hungry,
Yeah.
and my stuff is all jacked up.
Oh,
I was mad.
no.
Oh,
My
I'm a-
mom always
I'm a-
tells me,
I'm
she's
an
like,
angry,
I used to run
hungry
drive-thrus
guy.
by
Like
myself.
I said, you should have crossed the street.
It's
If
hard.
you cross the street, right there.
You guys close
Somewhere.
early.
No, we don't.
You guys close really early.
You
When?
do.
We close at 9:30.
That's
too
You
early.
used
I don't go to bed until midnight.
I don't
Come
get off
to
work till
Dunkin'.
11,
We close,
Jacob.
we close at
Yes.
9:30 on weekdays, 7 on weekends.
Like, I'm not going to, I can't go to Subway when I get the munchies at night. Like, come
Well,
Yeah.
on, Jacob.
I will come to Dunkin's
not my
because I got to
fault.
work here tonight.
I don't
so
control the hours.
I'll
Oh,
come-
wait, do I work tonight?
You told me you did.
I don't know if I do anymore. I think
Oh.
I
Schedule.
switched. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh,
you're-
I work Saturday, though.
I don't work until
7
Friday.
to 3.
Yeah, you're not going to see me Saturday.
All right.
Well, then I'll see you next week.
So you're not working now.
No, I don't think so.
All
I
right.
thought I was. I think I worked last night.
All right.
remember.
See, you guys are talking about drugs and everyone's getting hungry.
But you can't go. You can't go today. You can't
We're
go
fixing
today.
our natural high. We're getting
Your
our natural
natural
high.
highs.
Yeah.
Nobody will make it good. You can't go today.
All right, I won't.
Okay.
All right, well, let's just move on to it's time to say goodbye because we don't have any things to know right now.
Say no to drugs.
Say
Huh?
no.
What's that?
Do we do
No
shout out, or
drugs.
Are we skipping shout out or are we doing it?
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. You guys want to do a shout out?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do
Shout
your
out to
shout-outs.
Mr. Alvitro.
for letting you be out here.
Yeah,
and
for
hang
letting me
out
be
with
here. And that's about it.
Yeah, shout out to my program teacher, Mrs. Hickey, for letting me come here today. Thank you. You're a queen.
Shout out Mr. Duran. He asked me to be on the podcast, and I said yeah. Shout out Gibtron, of course. You already know. Yeah, that's it.
All right, I want to say huge shout out to SAD for making this possible, this whole Red Ribbon Week here
Yeah.
at TCTC. And shout out to you, Deputy Mike.
Yay.
Because-
Big shout out to Deputy Mike.
Let's
Big
go,
up to Deputy
Deputy
Mike for being the
Mike.
absolute goat.
Making every show awesome.
I try. I do try.
With
Just-
your
we
bright
really-
pink badge.
Yeah.
What's up with your badge this week, Deputy Mike?
You guys
Is it
don't
pink for-
read.
Is it for pink
Breast
out?
cancer awareness.
breast cancer
Okay,
awareness?
okay.
I'd love to
Yeah,
see
it
it.
Look,
Love
is.
to see
read
it.
right there. It's small.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see it above the deputy.
Yeah, it's small. I
we'd love
wish.
to see it.
I wish it had more like a metallic looking one, like the gold.
We'll
that would
make
look
you
so
one.
nice.
Yeah.
We'll figure
That
out a
would
way.
look really
Come on,
nice.
visually design one.
Yeah.
I actually meant to put this on at the beginning of October, and I couldn't find it. And it was right in front of me.
I have a
Oh
badge
my
somewhere
God.
that says I'm the Snapchat police.
Snapchat place.
Yeah.
Dude, you gotta wear it.
I'll have to. I'll get it. And it has like that sad little hamster on it.
Oh no.
Wait, I want a picture. You have to do it when I'm in uniform. So yeah, you can have your badge on.
Oh my
I'll have
gosh.
badge
But
on.
can I go as you as my Halloween costume if I get a bald cap?
Deputy Mike.
Oh my god.
You're gonna shave your head?
I will not be shaving my head.
Jason,
I'll
you gotta
go
commit.
Wait, you could put one of those bald things on though.
Yeah.
You be
bald
Deputy
cap.
Mike. I'll be the other
You be
resource
Mr.
officer,
McKnight.
Mr.
Deputy McKnight.
Yep, McKnight.
Yeah, we love McKnight. He's great.
We actually had 2 students that dressed up as myself and Deputy DeLuga.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
now it's gonna
How
be
long
miss
ago?
Deputy
Serenity.
DeLuga.
Shout out
Yep.
Deputy DeLuga.
Yep.
Yeah, over
We
at
miss you,
Matthews.
Queen.
We miss you. We miss you, Mr. DeLuga.
So, you know what?
Shout
I
out
wanna-
Officer McKnight.
Yeah.
We love you though.
Yeah, you're pretty goated.
I want to
The
shout out to
goat.
all you guys. Thank you for being on. I want to shout out to the rookies. Thank you guys very much. And to everybody else listening. And I still need, like, if you guys have ideas of what you want to hear us talk about, please drop me an email.
We
at
have to
Mike-
do ASMR.
Mike.gear@tctc.
Yeah, with a cup of cane sauce and
Yeah.
some mukbang.
Oh yeah, we're gotta do it.
Cane's
gotta do
Come on,
mukbang
Deputy Mike,
would
we
do
have to do
numbers,
it.
Deputy
Mike.
We'll get the food.
Yeah, we'll get me.
I'll
We're
get
gonna do a
Kenny
couple
a
of
combo.
calls.
We want to do a
Yes.
mukbang and gossip
Yeah, we're
episode.
good.
Yes.
You guys will be spitting food particles.
No,
all
we
over
won't.
the
We
place.
swear. We promise.
we won't.
Very clean. It'll
We'll
be very
chew
clean.
first.
We
I
could
don't
just like
know.
go like this.
You would
and
have to
eat
pass
beside
that
them.
one with Mr. Duran.
Mr. Duran, are you listening?
Well, your
Who's
bio
awesome,
has,
by
you
the
know
way.
how nasty this place can get.
Yeah, that's true. I did test this place for the bacteria. And it was
Well, then we'll
pretty-
disinfect.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
Lysol.
Yes.
We'll be fine.
So you should know. You should know how to clean it up.
Yeah,
we'll be
you're
okay.
a professional.
Wait, I can sterilize
Yeah,
it. We
yeah,
just
you
need
should
some
know how to
ethanol.
sterilize
We need
there,
some
yeah.
ethanol.
Oh yeah.
We'll be okay.
It'll be
live.
fine.
We'll live.
We got
It'll
it.
be the
Well-
most viewed episode of doing time.
It
with
has to go on
Deputy
TCTC time.
I want to thank everybody for listening. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. I want that picture.